Even as Iran confronts the gravest threat to its regime yet, it is signaling a willingness to prolong its conflict with the United States and Israel in a bid to finally reshape the region in its favor. This is heat, and the conversation is just beginning. Iran's regime has endured devastating losses over the past few weeks, with near-daily U.S.-Israeli strikes eliminating entire tiers of its leadership and military command structure. The Iranian population, already worn down by years of economic hardship, sanctions, and mismanagement, now faces the added burdens of wartime shortages and a militarized domestic environment. Yet amid a real risk of regime collapse, the Islamic Republic's surviving leaders have continued projecting an escalatory rhetoric, touting a capacity to endure pain and an indifference to further leadership losses. Despite demands by President Trump for total surrender, Iran's surviving leadership has instead cast itself as having prevailed, laying out a maximalist price for peace. It has demanded a new regional status quo, war reparations, and a shift in the decades-old alliances between Gulf Arab states and the United States. Mohammad Bagher Ghalibaf stated, "A ceasefire only becomes logical if it guarantees that the war will not resume, not if it gives the enemy an opportunity to fix its problems only to attack us again. We will continue fighting until the enemy truly regrets its aggression, and until the appropriate political and security conditions are established in the world and the region," he told Al Arabi Al Jadid. Iran has demanded a new protocol for the Strait of Hormuz, with Foreign Minister Abbas Araghchi insisting that safe passage for ships should take place under conditions favoring Iran's interests. Tehran may even go as far as demanding the unfreezing of sanctioned assets abroad, or charging a toll for countries using the narrow maritime corridor off its coast. Ghalibaf doubled down on social media, writing that the Strait of Hormuz situation won't return to its pre-war status, signaling a permanent change to the maritime order. After more than 2 decades of negotiations, the U.S. and Israel attacked Iran late last month, killing Supreme Leader Ayatollah Ali Khamenei and severely degrading the country's command. Tehran's retaliation was swift and ferocious. It unleashed hundreds of missiles and drones against U.S. allies, straining ties with Arab neighbors and disrupting global energy markets. Sina Tusi notes that Iran is seeking a horizon in which its stability is seen as tied to the stability of the Persian Gulf and the global economy, translating pressure into a specific outcome. U.S. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth maintains that Iran is losing. President Trump wrote that Iran's military is decimated, and their leaders are gone at virtually every level. Yet, hours later, Iran launched its 61st wave of strikes, killing a couple in Israel and proving that they do not have to win in conventional military terms to inflict high costs. Nargis Bajagli of Johns Hopkins University notes that Iran's strategy is based on asymmetrical warfare. They are pushing levers like disrupted oil trade that the West cannot indefinitely tolerate. Anticipating an attack, Iran's Revolutionary Guard Corps had developed contingency plans to activate decentralized units, preparing themselves for what Ghalibaf calls a long war. The IRGC carried out unprecedented strikes on civilian and economic infrastructure, hitting international airports and energy facilities across the region to impose a transformed reality. A new generation of IRGC commanders has emerged. Having seen Iran deploy power in Iraq and Syria, they calculate risk and confrontation through the lens of future deterrence. Iran's army spokesperson Amir Akraminia claimed this week that 5 decades of an American-led regional order in the Middle East has collapsed today. However, Gulf officials like Anwar Gargash have stated that they will double down on their relationship with the U.S. and Israel, seeing Iran as the main threat for decades to come. Rimal Hashimi emphasized that their strategic partnership with the U.S. does not falter in moments of crisis, adding that they won't be bullied by Iran's aggressive tactics. The endgame is not escalation for its own sake. It is using escalation as a means to force accommodation, Tusi explains. Iran does not need to win this war militarily. It needs to ensure that continuing it becomes too costly for everyone else. This has been a Frontline USA investigation into Iran's strategic maneuvers in the Middle East. As the regional order continues to shift, we will be here to document the transition. For more, visit our website. I'm Donaf Zen, and this is Heat.